The second time I seen him was at his home in Las Vegas, Nevada. Everybody thinks he faked his death. He's not dead. There was many things that happened and he got set up for a little bit to still be able to live his life and still be in the public eye. He's still making music.
He burned his fingerprints off and everybody's seen him, right? The LAPD went out and covered that. Look it up on TMZ. Look it up. Go look it up yourself. Go look it up yourself. You think I'm scared of you? Let's go.
Jada, you're a bald head liar and you're a addict, right?
Oh, God.
You told the world that you were going to sue me. As of yet, and you said you're going to do it swiftly. It's been over 2 weeks. So Jada, I'm giving you 2 more weeks to sue me. If you don't sue me, this is what's going to happen. All parties, right? And the people, the men that you hit with dildos, I'm naming names, right? All the salacious stuff that you have done and hurt other people, I'm naming names. You assassinate my character. You say I extort you. Well, extortion is...
Sorry. He was, it was beyond friendship for us, as far as just, it was really difficult to explain because...
Denzel Washington, Beyonce Knowles, Ellen DeGeneres, Whoopi Goldberg, Lady Gaga, Chrissy Teigen, John Legend, Joan Rivers, Rob Saget. Do you want me to keep going? Ask me. Everybody wonder why my smile... Pressured, stalked, and hunted down for your own information. You get abused and re-victimized again by people who wanted to argue a back and forth this week like that fucking mattered. Okay, you had Stu Peters and Timothy Charles Homestead going back and forth and nobody has even bothered. Not that I give a damn and not that I understand that you guys are gonna be that selfish, but nobody has bothered to apologize for all the hell that has happened. But you guys were arguing back and forth and in that meantime we lost our home. You don't believe me? Here you go. What once was a full house, we were still paying rent on our house. What we were doing this whole time was moving everything because our house is gone. Our house is gone. This is the price. This is the price of speaking out. What was our beautiful 3-bedroom acre home on 21225 Standing Rock Avenue, because everybody has the address, because organizations that were attached to Marx, Sawyer, and many other organizations decided to put out the address, my license plate to one of my cars, and many other of my shit. So here you go. You can have it, right? Because this is what happens when you speak out. This is what happens when you tell all the truth. This is what happens when you decided to stand up for the children, and when you understand that survivors don't just get to do a seminar, and when you understand that survivors don't just get to just be and then show up somewhere and talk and monetize every fucking thing that they're saying. When you realize that that shit is bull, then you will understand. Look at the tactics and pay attention. Pay attention. I'm still not asking you for a damn thing but to wake up. I'm not asking you for a damn thing but just to get outside. I don't give a damn about money, numbers on my platforms. You can fucking have all of it. You took everything. The only thing that I give a shit about right now is the fact that there is a baby. There's baby in the way. There are people that I love that I can't get out of the way. What am I supposed to do when the people in the authority that you're supposed to go to, you can't go to them?
Are 3-4-year-olds that people take pride in sticking bars of children. I don't think people are going to be able to stomach the fact that people tie 2, 3, 4, 5-year-old children to horse stables and have horses and dogs with them, and then they get off on that. I don't think people are going to be able to stomach the fact that people hang children upside down in satanic ritual abuse meetings, and they literally hang them, literally by metal prongs. They hang them to get dripping out of them, and people go up under and like you're under a rainfall to take their blood.
To hide from the public if I do, okay?
Anybody that was in my biological family as surrogates, they know damn well what I'm talking about. All of y'all know what I'm talking about. And if something happens to this woman right here, that's the only person that I will ever consider. She is my mother. I know nothing else. So if somebody touch my mama, it won't be a Sandra Bland situation. You guys will be seeing us on t-shirts. And I'm down with that because we know where we're going. But if insurance releases insurance, you release everything. And I mean everything. If a song comes on of cleaning out my closet, everybody knows what that means. So I want to tell you now, I know a lot of shit that I should not know. I haven't even got to the facilities. I haven't even got to things where things are buried. Why do I know cases that were in San Bernardino in 2005 when I was I know a lot of shit I haven't put off yet because every time I do, you guys see what kind of hell that we get. So like I said, Tupac, you know what I'm talking about, and you won't even be able to hide from your own family. Try me.
Definitely from looking at him, wasn't necessarily like the type of cat that I would even like deal with, you know. But as soon as he approached me, he was like a magnet. It was like once you paid attention to him, he kind of sucked you in. And we hit it off from that moment on. He would tell me all the time, Jada, you're gonna be a star. You know what I mean? I'm like, Pa, come on. He's like, you're gonna be a star. You got it. You just got it. I don't think either one of us really thought that we would have made it in the way that we did. But we knew we were going to do something. He was one of my best friends. He was like a brother.
Door to Dwayne's dressing room, and that's when I see Dwayne and having anal Will.
Let me process that for a second.
There was a couch, and Will was bent over on the couch, and Dwayne was standing up, killing him. Murder. It was murder in there.
Okay. What did you do?
Gonna be able to be there because him and Charlie had something else going on. I robbed in Chicago for Empire. It's a damn mess. It's no other way to put it. This dude is going crazy, right? He's out there allegedly with male prostitutes. He's pissing in the trailer. He's acting psychotic, right?
The same thing he's doing now.
Beyond that. But this is why a show is going on. I pulled him to the side. I said, listen, I'm here to help you and so forth and so on. So he was like, all right, I feel that. He said, everybody on the set know you. Everybody seem like they love you. Okay. I want to love you because everybody else love you. I said, if that's what you want to do, then do it. But he kept acting up. And then one day I said, what the F is wrong with you? And he was like, you know. He said, you know Will raped me. You know Diddy made me suck his penis. You know what's going on. You know Charlie made me suck. And I said, I have no idea what's going on. I have no idea. So he crying, no blood is coming from his nose. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. And I'm
What if one of the most legendary figures in hip-hop history never really left behind everything people think he did? Not just his music, not just his influence, but a secret so explosive it could rewrite his entire legacy. Because right now, whispers are turning into full-blown accusations that Tupac Shakur may have a daughter the world was never supposed to know about, and that powerful people may have worked quietly for years to keep it that way. And if even a fraction of this is true, it's not just a shocking revelation. It's a potential cover-up involving some of the most influential names in entertainment. At the center of it all is a claim that refuses to go away. A woman named Ally Carter says she is Tupac's biological daughter. Not a distant relative, not a fan spinning theories, but his child. And suddenly, people are starting to pay attention in a way they didn't before. Because if her story holds any truth, it doesn't just change how we see Tupac. It raises serious questions about everyone who was close to him, including Jada Pinkett Smith, whose deep, almost unbreakable bond with him has been public knowledge for decades. The stakes here are massive. Legacy, credibility, and the carefully preserved image of one of music's most iconic figures could all be on the line. But before all this attention, Ally was someone most people ignored. For years, she's been speaking out, making claims that many dismissed as too extreme, too unbelievable, too easy to write off as someone chasing attention. She was labeled everything from delusional to desperate. And yet, she never stopped. She kept pushing, kept sharing, kept insisting that what she experienced and who she is was real. And now, with more eyes turning in her direction, the narrative is beginning to shift. Because people are starting to ask a different question. What if she wasn't lying, just ignored? Fueling that shift is a man who seems determined to drag everything into the light, whether people like it or not. Brother Bilal, a figure already surrounded by controversy due to his past claims involving Will Smith and others in Hollywood. He's not exactly known for playing it safe, and this time is no different. Bilal has stepped in, amplifying Ally's story and pointing fingers directly at Jada, accusing her of knowing more than she's ever admitted. And he's doing it loudly, aggressively, and without hesitation, turning what might have stayed an internet rumor into something that feels a lot harder to ignore. And this is where things start to get darker, because Ally's claims go far beyond just identity. She describes a life that, if true, is filled with control, secrecy, and experiences no one should have to endure, especially not as a child. She suggested that acknowledging her connection to Tupac wouldn't just confirm her identity, it would give weight to everything else she's been trying to expose. And that's where the stakes really rise. Because now it's not just about who her father might be. It's about what people might have to answer for if her story gains credibility. The more she speaks, the more it feels like she's pushing against something bigger than just disbelief, something that doesn't want her to be heard at all. And then there's the growing web of names being pulled into the conversation. Not in clear accusations, but in a way that makes people pause. Figures like Denzel Washington, Beyoncé, and others have been mentioned in the broader narrative surrounding her claims. Enough to make the situation feel less isolated and more like part of something much larger. Whether those connections mean anything or not is still up for debate, but their presence alone raises the temperature. Because when stories start brushing up against that level of influence, people either start digging deeper or backing away entirely. And right now, it's not clear which direction this is going to go. And this is where the story stops feeling like just another celebrity rumor and starts hitting on something much heavier. Because when you really listen to what Ally is saying, it's not just about identity, it's about survival. She describes years of feeling isolated, dismissed, and constantly pushed to the edge for speaking out. And whether you believe every detail or not, there's a pattern that's hard to ignore. People who claim to have lived through trauma often don't tell their stories in clean, polished ways. They sound scattered, emotional, sometimes even contradictory, and that's exactly why so many people get written off. But what if that's the point? What if the very thing people use to discredit her is actually a reflection of what she's been through? Because if even part of her story is real, it would explain the fear, the urgency, the way she keeps pushing despite everything she's losing. And suddenly, the question shifts from, is she telling the truth, to something much more uncomfortable. What if she is? Which brings everything back to one person who's been quietly sitting at the center of this entire storm, Jada Pinkett Smith. Because when you look at her history with Tupac Shakur, it's not just casual. It's deeply emotional, almost spiritual. They met young, connected instantly, and by her own words, their bond was something she's never been able to fully explain. Tupac wrote about her with a level of admiration that went far beyond friendship, calling her the embodiment of what he believed a woman should be. And even years after his death, Jada has continued to speak about him with a kind of reverence that's hard to ignore. It's the kind of connection that makes people wonder if anyone would have known something personal, something hidden, wouldn't it have been her? And that's where the tone of the story starts to shift. Because what once felt like nostalgia, stories of two young dreamers finding each other, now carries a different weight when placed next to these new allegations. It raises a quiet but powerful question. Is it possible she knows more than she's ever said? And just as those questions start building, the situation takes another turn. Because now it's not just online speculation, it's spilling into real-world conflict. Brother Bilal has been escalating things publicly, making bold accusations not only about Jada, but about her marriage to Will Smith, dragging deeply personal and controversial claims into the spotlight. According to him, those accusations didn't go unanswered. There are claims of threats, confrontations, and even legal action, with reports of a lawsuit tied to alleged intimidation after he spoke out. Whether those claims hold up or not, the fact that lawyers are now involved changes everything. Because once a situation crosses that line, it's no longer just gossip. It has consequences. Reputations, careers, and possibly even safety are now part of the equation. And the more public this becomes, the harder it is for anyone involved to simply ignore it and hope it goes away. So now we're left in this strange space where nothing feels fully confirmed, but nothing feels easy to dismiss either. On one side, you have a woman who's been fighting to be heard, risking everything to tell a story that most people would be too afraid to even hint at. On the other, you have some of the most powerful and respected names in entertainment. People with every reason to protect their image and their legacy. And somewhere in the middle of all that is the truth, or at least pieces of it. Because history has shown us before that things dismissed as impossible sometimes turn out to be very real, just hidden long enough for people to stop looking. So the real question isn't just whether Ally is Tupac's daughter. It's how many people might already know the answer and why they've stayed silent. Is this all just another internet spiral that's gone too far? Or is there something here that hasn't fully come to light yet? Because if there is, it won't stay buried forever. What do you think?